Afternoon, everybody. I'm back from the beach, home for just a couple days, and then off and run into sort of kind of the mountains. Being a Northern California girl, Arkansas mountains are not really mountains to me, but it is definitely closer than where I grew up. And with everything going on in our world, I just don't feel like making that kind of a long trek with the munchkins. Today, though, I'm one of those, you could call me a late bloomer on getting my taxes done. Taxes done this morning on the very last possible day. Like I do this every single year. I wait till the very last minute to do my taxes. And it is not because I am completely unorganized or that I don't have the money to pay my taxes or anything of the sort. It is because I have this pit in my stomach around doing my taxes. And it's hilarious because I look at it like, when I pay taxes and when I go to get taxes, I'm like, woo, like here's what it is, right? Like I actually don't get upset about my taxes in the essence of that. If I pay, I pay, right? That doesn't get to me. I'm like, hey, I made money, and that just goes to show me how much I made or whatever. But and if I was good on doing my deductions and all that kind of stuff, which I'm pretty damn good on getting my deductions in too. But every single year, I just feel this like pit right here in my stomach, and it is miserable. And I always tell myself after I get my taxes done, driving home from the tax lady, and I have this conversation with myself around, why do you wait so long? Why do you put yourself in so much pain? It's like I have this buildup around taxes, and I just dread just going and doing them. It is the going and doing, not anything else. And it's so funny, I came back from doing my taxes today, and I had the same conversation that I've had year after year with myself driving home from the tax person, of like, man, I should just do that on, January 1st when nobody else is doing anything. I should just sit down and do my taxes and just have them all put together and then just get it done with. And like, how much more ease and flow would I have in my life? How much less, suffering would I be causing myself if I just did it right then? Because I already have it all put together. So why don't I just do it, right? Like, why don't I just take that and just go do it? Why do I procrastinate like this? And then here I am, I get home today and I jump in the shower, shaving my legs, when I realize, I'm like, of course I know this, but you know it and then you know it some more, right? So I'm shaving my legs and I'm like, damn, you know what it is? It's a childhood wound. It is this wound. And here's the thing, is like when I was a little girl, my dad, he must have hated doing taxes too. And I did not grow up wealthy at all. I grew up very, very poor. And my father, I remember, and do taxes for like days in and days out. And my mother and I would be walking on eggshells to, around the house. And then if he got really upset, he would drink a massive amount. And I'm talking like a massive amount. We're not talking about like, a 12-pack of beer. We're talking about like 32 bottles of wine over a short period of time. And my life would be pretty easygoing until April 1st hit. And then when April 1st hit, it would just be like walking on eggshells for 2 weeks until he filed. And I was just terrified, and he would become violent, and he would be drinking, and he would be doing all this kind of stuff. And so I would just like hamper down, right? I would clam up. I would get into this like just really, I don't even know what the correct terminology here is for what I was going through, but I just really shut down. And so as I was shaving my legs today, I'm like, wow, this resistance that I have around my taxes and pushing till the very last day is so clearly my dad, right? This is so clearly my father. This is a childhood wound. And you would think that year after year after year of me going, woo, I got my taxes done, woo, like that, it feels so good. And every time I do my taxes, here's the funny thing, every single time, like today, I walk in, I got my tax appointment, I have all my stuff lined up, I hand it to the tax lady, we sit down, we chit chat, we talk about the previous years, we talk about some travel, we talk about kids, we laugh, all this kind of stuff. It's like an easy breezy situation. I give her the numbers, she plugs them in, she asks me some questions, we work through it, she recalculates some things, she does this, she does that, she does her magic, right? Which is why I go to her, because she does her magic. And And we sit there, and 40 minutes later, everything's taken care of. And there was no struggle, there was no pain, there was no anything. The actual process, and because I do have everything put together, is like this. It's so smooth. And then I tell myself, like, it's so smooth. So what the fuck? Like, what the fuck is my issue? Well, it's that trauma. It's that trauma from childhood. It's that childhood wound. And it causes me suffering pretty much from January 1st until typically April 1st to April 15th, somewhere in there, in that 2-week time, I will file. And if I don't, then I go and I file an extension, and then I wait till October, and I push it out until October, to do it, which just makes it where I'm spending, anywhere from 4 to 10 months of my year in the back of my mind, stressed about something that takes 40 minutes of my time and is actually very easy and not difficult at all. This does not actually cause me any stress. Is that not stupid? Yes, I'm stupid on that. Absolutely stupid on it. Crazy stupid on it. And it's because I'm allowing a childhood wound to dictate my happiness level, my ability to completely step into flow. I was thinking while I was shaving my legs with my brand new razor, because this whole thought process came up to me. And you guys know that I am all about law of attraction and abundance and manifesting and being in the flow, being in alignment, and just manifesting that stuff like this, right? Just manifesting it. And when it happens, it's wonderful. And, we have to realize that we manifest crap and we manifest blessings, right? So we get both of them. It really is dependent on what we're thinking, what we're feeling into is what we're attracting to us, right? And then it's like nobody is 100% lined up 100% of the time to manifest with ease and flow all the stuff that they really truly desire and crave for, right? All the blessings, the abundance, the relationship, the love, the sex, the money, the health, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, none of us are 100% of the time lined up 100% of the way to that stuff. So we ebb and flow throughout it. But then we have these little hooks that slow us down, that cause constriction, and we have to figure out what those hooks are so that we can pull them out, so that we can breathe more into the flow, get more into alignment. So here I am thinking about my taxes, thinking about the childhood wound, while shaving my legs, and I'm thinking about it, and I'm going, God damn it, I really need to I need to let go of this. I'm like, you know what, I'm going to just do this, and I'm making commitments to myself while shaving, right? Let's see if I can stick to them. I'll report back on January 1st if I do or not. Or somebody remind me that I just said that, please. Addison, you're fantastic at it. Mark it on the calendar. Kendal, report to everybody if you completed your commitment here. Seriously, because it really would make my life a lot easier, right? It would really line me up into the flow of things a lot easier. But here's the other thing. As I'm shaving my legs with my brand new razor, right? I'm shaving and I'm like, oh man, my legs are so baby soft, and this is so easy. When I realized, here I am, yet again, facing another fucking wound. Another wound. And it wasn't because I cut myself with my razor, because I didn't do that. But what it was the new razor. I could buy 1,000 razors and have them. That's not the issue. It's not a financial issue. It's not an issue of I can't go to the store and buy the razor that I want for whatever the reason is. But in my childhood, in my teen years, shaving my legs, like I said, I grew up really, really poor, right? I grew up really, really poor. I couldn't afford a brand new razor quite often. So I would get maximum use out of that razor until it started to pull my hair and cause these bumps on my skin, and I cut myself more frequently. And then I got married, and I spent almost 20 years in this marriage where I didn't know if I was able to pay for my bills. I never knew if there was going to be enough food on the table for my family, if the power was going to get disconnected or not. If I came home from the park with the kids, if I'd walk into having no water, no power, no gas. So guess what? That cycle of not being able to buy a new razor to something so small as shaving my legs, right, which makes me feel so much better about myself, I do. I love the feeling of soft skin. But yeah, so I wouldn't buy razors until the very last minute for another 20 years, right? And then I look at the last, what is it, 15 years, 13 to 15 years, and I'm like, oh my God, look at me causing my wound still to exist when I have no clue why I'm doing it. Well, the clue is that there's a wound back there, right? Here it is. It's a wake-up call. Why would I do it? There's no reason for it. There's absolutely no reason for it. Right? Absolutely no reason for it. And here's the thing. I share these, like, silly, right? A razor. It's a razor shaping my legs, holding my abundance back, holding my alignment back, keeping me just a hair off point of total alignment potentially over a razor, over like $12. Silly. One more story, and then I'm going to let you go after I make my finalized point here. Yesterday, as you guys know, we were down in Port Aransas, and we were, we had rented a beautiful beachfront property and everything. It was like 5 minutes walking to the beach and everything. And Friday we're taking off to the Ozarks. Got a cabin on, I think it's like 58 acres or something. Amazing cabin up there on a whole bunch of acreage. We're gonna go horseback riding, we're gonna go tubing, we're gonna go hiking, and just really, really like a total other feel to it. And that's all abundance stuff, right? Beach house, cabin in the woods, all this kind of stuff, activities, experiencing as the world is shut down. Not my house, not me, not my family. No, we're not shut down. We're still living, we're still thriving, we're still experiencing, right? Here I am yesterday, and I'm cleaning out the refrigerator of our rental property down on the beach, and I'm throwing away a whole bunch of stuff. And we had ordered Uber Eats this yummy pasta meal from this really nice high-end pasta place down in Corpus. And we had gotten all this yummy food, scallops and shrimp and all this yummy stuff. Well, my youngest two, they're not into all the frills and stuff. They just wanted spaghetti and meatballs. So it was like a $19 order of spaghetti and meatballs. Really, really good. So it comes in, we get one order. I split it in half for them. They pick at it. They just eat a few little things in a container, put it in the fridge, and I'm like, they can eat it tomorrow for lunch, or if they get hungry later tonight, I'll warm it up, and they can eat it. Not a big deal, right? Well, a few days go by, it's still sitting there. I'm now cleaning out the refrigerator. I open up, I'm like, instantaneously, I hear my mother in my head, who went through World War II, 5 concentration camps, got bombed out of her house 7 times, had been shot at, all this kind of stuff, black market stuff that she had to go down and trade American cigarettes for, for food and all that kind of stuff. And I hear her in my head of like, don't be wasteful. Don't be wasteful. Oh my God, look at how much money you're spending on this. That was $19. Like, take it home with you. Make them eat it tomorrow. Maybe it's this, maybe it's that. And I looked at it and I was like, and I kind of felt guilty because I went and I put it to the side and I'm like, yeah, I should do that. Like, I should be conscientious. And then I heard another voice in my head go off and say, are you being conscientious or are you living in scarcity? Yeah, my mother's scarcity wound, which kept her broke all her life. That wound that she passed to me, that I have to consistently stay aware of. So I threw the pasta away. I threw it away. And then today, here I am greeted with the wound of my father's taxes from all of his, physical violence and drinking violence and emotional violence that he went through and that I went through as a small child, all around taxes. And then a scarcity, a fear of not having enough, abundance issue around a $12 razor. $12 razor. I ask you, where are you doing this kind of stuff in your life? Because it's those little things, like the spaghetti and meatballs, the razor, the procrastinating until the very last possible moment on your taxes, that holds us back, that prevents us from truly thriving in life. And it takes you to become aware I've spent the last 2 days with the universe taking a baseball bat to me on these things, saying, girl, here's how you get a little bit more into alignment. Here's how you draw the next miracles into your life. Here's how you really thrive a little bit more, how you really step in a little bit more. Don't procrastinate on your taxes. Buy the razor when you don't, not, you know, like before you need it. Stock up on the razors, do whatever, but don't wait until they're cutting you, until they're like, there's nothing left. And stop holding on to leftovers because you're afraid that you're going to waste the money. You know what? What was consumed was needed. So it's not a waste, right? If we got what we needed from it, then it's not a waste. Somebody else's perception might be that it is a waste, but their perception doesn't matter. It's how we feel about it. And it's breaking free of the wound of scarcity, the wound of fear, those childhood wounds that do get passed to us. But we make a decision to keep purchasing them as we go through life or to break free from them. Look at where you're guilty of these things. Write those things down. Really, truly, write them down so that you can go, hey, here's where I'm doing it. Like put it, like Jim Rohn says, put it on the fridge. Put it on the fridge so that you're aware. Because the only way that you're going to be able to truly break free from it is to become aware of where you are holding yourself back. And it is the littlest of things that makes the biggest adjustments to your level of abundance, your ability to manifest the life that you want. And on that note, I'm off to go and help some beautiful, beautiful people today. Whole host of clients coming in today, and we're going to work through probably these topics since that's what's coming up. If you'd like to know more about events around the Dallas-Fort Worth area, if you're a local or if you want to make it here, know that we have shrunk down all of our events due to COVID. We've also changed the dates on some, the locations on some of that. So make sure that you have the most current event location and all the stuff that you need on that. If you're unsure as to where to find that, feel free to message me on that. You may look on my events page to go ahead and see exactly what is available with all that awesome detail, or meet up or here on Facebook or whatever, or just email me or put it in the comments, whatever. I'll get it to you. And if you want to know how to overcome the stinking thinking that's holding you back, well, this is where you need to reach out to me, because I'm going through it, but guess what? I've overcome it for the most part. And now I'm fine-tuning. Let me help you fine-tune so that you can live a life of thriving, of abundance, of magic, and of joy. You're worthy of it. And as always, stop existing, start living, and I will catch you tomorrow with another Conscious Coffee.